5 years ago, I made my first ever commentary, which was on a small kid who was basically doing a rant on Digimon. And whilst the video might most likely have been a troll video, it seemed to have garnered quite a bit of good attention, and thus began the journey of entertainment as a mediocre commentator. To think that 5 years I'd still be here, despite being told that I've been quitting, and I left, and that I quit, and that I left, even though I never said I did, but you get the idea. So, what to do for this special occasion? Well, I have this two videos that I've been wanting to commentate on since 2010. Yep, we're going to go back in time. Before I do that though, I think I should tell you this little bit of a story of a guy known as DakariKingMykan. DakariKingMykan is considered to be the spiritual successor to the very well-known Christian Western channeler. Diagnosed with autism at a very young age, he supposedly got very pissed off when Davis and Kairi didn't hook up after Digimon Season 02. He has garnered quite a bit of attention. In fact, he ended up appearing on a show known specifically as By TV. There's so much more I can go into him, but the best thing to do is to look online for more of this guy's story. What we're focusing on is the events that took place on fanfiction.net. And there were two specific shipper groups that were very well known in the Digimon fandom. The Dakaris, who were known for shipping David and Kairi, and the Dakaris, who were known for shipping TK and Kairi. Supposedly they had a flame war that was on fanfiction.net, and Mykan, being rather egotistical, railed a few shippers, maybe like 10, and began getting Takari shippers banned from the website before getting banned himself. Eventually he returned to propose a peace between the two sides. And then this video happened. So were the videos as bad as I remember back in 2010? Well, I wouldn't be doing this video if the answer was no. This is the fictional story of Daikari and Takari. So without really going into detail about what happened, but saying it brought deep shame within the fandom, he says that this happened well before the Digimons ever existed. Funny how Digimon needed to exist first in order for the shippings to exist. For some reason we're also having more of a science fiction tale of the story as we're introduced to the planet of Dakari, a planet with amazing forest, great scenery, and the population known as the Daikaris, a race of peace-loving intelligent beings who for some reason felt no need for weapons or warfare. That's not going to bite them back in the arse later on. Did the soundtrack just groan in disappointment? Yeah, to be honest, I'd do the same thing too if I knew I was in this. Okay, so we're going back to talking about how amazing Daikari is. Yeah, great, we get it. Why not give me the brochure that says that you're just better than Jesus? So somehow two kids are the reason why this whole planet has great peace and prosperity. If that's the case, we should just put the president's kids into power. Also, my editing might not make it seem like it, but we're 2 minutes in and already I'm bored. I get we need to establish how perfect this place is, but the pacing just makes this feel like a fucking drag. So for some unknown reason, the entire planet and population decide that the kids should get married sometime in the future, and thus rename their entire planet and population as a reminder of their love. Yeah, I know this is a fictional story, but I want to know how it would turn out if this was reality.
Now, we know that you're just kids and all, but considering that you're both in love with no possible way that you might just want to see other people, we're arranging a marriage for the two of you. And then we're going to be naming our entire planet after you, and the population will be dedicated to your entire relationship. So really, there's no pressure. Now anyway, if you'd excuse me, I've got to get back to the orphan slaves and see if they finished the golden statue of your love.
We also get to meet our main protagonist, Mykan, a young farmer boy who looks up to Davis and Kairi. And you know, I feel this guy is so original that I'm just going to put a Gary Stu counter just to show how original he is. Well, it's not like we bumped into each other at one point, decided to have a talk and a coffee, and now he works for me as my avatar. That would just be silly. So, saying fuck it to TK, 15 years later, Davis and Kairi are ready to marry. Also, Mykan seems to appear more like Danny Phantom, and also, Yoli without glasses seems to freak me out. Everything seems to be going all so well. There you go, sit shit! Oh, the DakariManity! If only there was some way that this vast, intelligent race had something to defend themselves with. Clearly, there's nothing they could have done that would have helped them with a possible invasion. Oh, the DakariManity. Oh, I feel faint. So if Mykan ended up having his village destroyed, family killed, and pretty much his whole body turned to shit, we then get to see Okay, that's something I need to address. What is this? What is this? It looks like some sort of purple space worm that seems to be clinging onto TK's stomach. It's just so silly. You know what, TK? I understand. If I had some purple space worm sucking up my stomach, I'd be pretty pissed too. So TK, I'm sorry, Count TK has now officially turned evil along with his brother Matt and Sora. No, not that Sora. However, that would make the story more interesting. So, Count TK destroys the planet and created these evil creatures all for the purpose of taking control of Kairi and forcing her to start the new race known as the Daikaris. And he uses the most evil power of all, the power of hope? Hope? Alright, I guess that Makoto was the evil one in Danganronpa. If I had a voice, I would yell so hard right now. So Mykan, trying to crawl away, ends up in a ditch, or crypt or whatever, discovers a golden crown that has magical powers that the gods seem to have left. I know this is Windows Movie Maker and thus it has its limitations, but you could still try to make this scene seem interesting. So the crown gives Mykan godlike powers and heals his body, but is unable to come off. I guess the gods use superglue just to prank whoever wore it.
And don't for the love of me end up destroying the entire planet. But really, there's no pressure. Guys, guess what? He fell for the super glue crown.
So as we go into part 2 on the Daikari planet, things are still looking like shit. Okay, look, here's the thing. If you want to make something look and sound dramatic, you at least have to have the audio match the dramatic visuals, because otherwise it doesn't work and it feels stupid. And this is coming from the guy who has for some reason static in the background because of the way that this laptop is laid out. I know you guys can hear it. So TK uses his eye lasers to try and defeat Mykan, but Mykan uses his 420 blazes to overpower Count TK. If only I bought the Dodge Lasers DLC! So all the monsters are beaten in one blow. Count TK does his best Ganon impersonation, and it seems that Mykan has saved the world right before it starts blowing up. Count TK retreats to his spider base, spider base. Why does TK have a fucking spider base? Leaving the Daikais to die on the planet. And by people I mean the 5 people next to me. I mean, I have to be a good king after all. So Mykan uses his powers to dress them like rejected Power Rangers, and then gives them powers to flee the planet. Oh come on, you were thinking it too. So, the 6 Daikaris jump off the planet, leaving anyone else who is alive to die in a horrible shitty MS Paint explosion. With the planet destroyed and most of the population dead except for the ones with superpowers, you might be asking yourself, isn't this kinda like the origin stories of Superman? To my response is, no shit Sherlock. So the superheroes go off to try and find a place to live on, however it seems the atmosphere isn't proper for them. That's what it says, but I think there's an actual real reason. So you see, our planet was destroyed, and now we need a place to live, and that's why we decided to choose your planet.
Okay, sir, and do you have your passports?
No, we didn't bring our passport.
Sorry, sir, the computer says no.
But there seems to be one planet that seems to be absolutely perfect for them, and of course it's motherfucking Earth. Seriously, why does Earth seem to be the only place that everyone wants to live on? Look, we invented YOLO. That must be a good enough reason to not live here. So blah blah blah, everyone tries to start living a normal life on Earth. Also, yes, good artwork there. How long did it take you to find that off Google? And Mykan, who can't live on Earth because of the crown stuck to his head, ends up on his own flying fortress, explaining why UK can't get any sun. And that's about it. Okay, yeah, I mean it wasn't great or anything, it wasn't as long now. Okay, you can see we still got a few more minutes left on the video. Let's see what else we got to look at.
Behold, the Lord of Evil is on the bridge.
What have you to report? That can never happen. Right, commence an aerial assault at once. You will continue until they're all destroyed. Place.
Oh, good. Will the food get any better?
Be quiet, you silly space mollusk. You will commence shooting now.
Okay, I guess it's time for everything wrong with their theme. Number 1. This, along with a few other segments, are the only ones with actual voice and sound audio, which is weird that it's happening now since there's only so little time left. Why do we have this sudden change? It ends up making it feel out of place compared to the rest. Number 2. So I guess that in this realm all Digimon are evil? That makes quite little sense since the human characters have Digimons that help them. Also, heck, Kairi's Digimon is actually Gatomon. Number 3. The audio has barely matched the lips.
You will continue until they're all destroyed.
Number 4. Why does TK look like a rejected Power Ranger villain? And number 5.
This is no Mimi, 0 out of 10.
So Count TK has searched the entire universe to find the remaining Daikais in order to wipe them out. This, of course, leads him to Earth, which he starts destroying. You know, this could be a very useful thing for anti-immigration. But Mykan, along with the rest of the Daikaris, vow not to let TK destroy the Earth and wipe out the rest of the Daikaris. All 6 of them.
Incompetent fools! Actually, my lord, I must say you've let them escape. Send the plague patrol and find them immediately, or heads will roll. Now be gone. On your way. Consider it done, Count. They shall not escape my wrath.
Next time, Mykan, I'll get you. Next time.
So apparently this war has been going on for 2,000 years, which I would question, but you know what, fuck it, we're near the end. And Mykan starts telling the flaming Takairis and Davis haters that they should be ashamed of themselves. Yeah, the same guy who captures evil Takairis who criticize him into Pokeballs, the same person who is self-centered that every OC that he writes is an obvious version of himself, and the same person who writes revenge fics because he didn't get his way, is telling Takairi and Davis haters to be ashamed. Yeah. So that's the fictional story of Daikairi and Takari, and do I still think it's the worst videos I've ever talked about? Yeah, I still think it's so. It doesn't really work as a story about what actually happens because it's so biased towards one side, saying how Daikairis are all good and Takairis are evil, when in reality both sides would have their sides of good and evil, or whatever. And it doesn't really work as its own little story because when you take out all the cliches and when you take out all the silliness, it's actually really boring. Yes, there were some funny moments in it that actually did make me laugh a little, but for the most part, I was kind of bored with what I was seeing. So it's kind of lackluster, and that's pretty much it. Well guys, I want to thank you for watching my Nostalgia Critic rip-off video. I mean, 5 years ago this all started with a Digimon rant that made no sense, and now here we are with a Digimon video that makes no sense. We've come full circle, so we reached my 5-year anniversary, and again, thank you guys for watching. It's been quite an experience. I don't make these videos for fame, I just make them because I find them fun. And pretty much I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. Well, with that being said, it's entertainment. And thanks guys for 5 years.
My friends, I stand before you to tell a truth most dire. There lurks a traitor in our midst who hath invoked the captain's ire. Don't deserve no mercy, we ought to shoot him